Hello and welcome. I'm Brossard, and here's what happened this week. Police in Taipei have caught a Chinese national who has lived illegally in Taiwan for 30 years using another man's identity. The discovery happened earlier this month when a Mr. Lin went to a police station to collect a lost cell phone. Police noticed that this Mr. Lin was wanted for a drunk driving offense, and the man in front of them did not match the photo on his ID. The man later admitted that he was in fact a Mr. Li from Fujian province in China. He smuggled himself to Taiwan by boat 30 years ago and adopted the identity of a man he met, that is, the real Mr. Lin. He avoided detection for decades and supported himself doing odd jobs on construction sites. His case has been referred to prosecutors. A care center in rural Taiwan is helping the country's rapidly aging population live happy, active lives. John Van Trieste takes a look.
It's exercise time at this new senior care center in rural Yunlin County. Up to 48 seniors from the area can get assistance here during the day, and even more can join its activities for a bit of company. There's even pickup service. The newly opened center is already making a difference in people's lives. Taiwan has the second lowest birth rate in the world and a rapidly aging population. The trend's effects are on full display in Taiwan's rural center. In 2022, Yunlin County had the lowest number of births in the country. Despite this, elderly care options in the county remain limited. This new center helps solve these problems in the 3 rural townships it serves. It aims to keep those who come here as active as possible and provide engaging activities like art projects. The center has also brought new life to a disused historic building.
后来就这个地方就比较没有在使用。那时候我跟他们的家人，然后在洽谈，就是说希望这个地方可以提供一个很好的一个环境给地方上的长辈。
It's a vision for what other parts of Taiwan can do to keep their aging populations living active, healthy, and fulfilling lives. Delphine Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's aging population issue doesn't only apply to humans, it's also hitting the country's pets. And animal shelters are struggling to cope with the long-term care of their elderly residents, as Reese Ayers reports.
With limited mobility and suffering from dementia, 16-year-old Lilu eats mush through a syringe. Just one of dozens of animals in need of constant care, living at this government-run shelter in New Taipei.
他如果躺着的时候，我们会帮他，就是手啊、脚啊稍微动一下。每天是要帮他挤尿。
Just like their human counterparts, Taiwan's pets are facing a crisis of age, as fewer caregivers try to cater to a growing number of animals requiring long-term care.
一般的动物跟需要长照的动物其实很大的区别就是它的活动力其实会下降。我觉得比较难照顾的大部分就是后躯瘫痪或者是卧床的动物，需要帮它翻身啊，或者是让它起来，至少坐轮椅稍微活动一下。
Staff at this shelter, one of just 8 such government-run shelters in a city that's home to over 300,000 pets, craft their own solutions to their residents' needs, such as homemade wheelchairs for animals with mobility issues and collision guards for pets with visual impairments. But scarce resources limit how much help staff can give on site.
人力有办法做到的部分，其实我们会尽力去做。需要进一步做到医疗打点滴或者是插鼻胃管那些，我们会后送到动保处去做进一步的医疗。
To help cope with an aging pet population, the New Taipei Animal Protection Office is planning to build a municipal long-term pet care hospital, though some veterinarians recommend pet owners and shelters consider more humane options for ailing animals.
We have met the owner that want to postpone as long as the animals can live. We actually have a scale that of the quality of life scale that we will perform, which is the 5H to M scale. The 5H is the hydration, heart, hunger, hygiene, and happiness. 2M means mobility, and does the animal have more good days than the bad days? And if the point is under 35, then I will suggest to do the euthanasia.
As Taiwan's four-legged residents age alongside their owners and shelters begin reaching capacity, animal lovers will be forced to consider when's the right time to say goodbye. Andy Sher and Rees for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's grade A eggs have gotten a poor grade for animal husbandry from an animal rights group, saying space is not a luxury afforded to egg-laying hens in Taiwan. The Open Wing Alliance ranked Taiwan 6th out of 17 Asia-Pacific countries for its treatment of egg-laying birds, notably scoring 0 for progress towards abolishing cage-fed hens. Of the 3 billion laying hens raised across Asia each year, 90% spend their entire lives in cages. Animal rights groups say the issue affects more than just chickens.
有没有善待经济动物？它一直都不是只有动物的问题而已，它还跟疫病的风险有关，它还跟食安有关。
Search and rescue animals work hard at their jobs, saving lives, and just like their human counterparts, they can look forward to a cozy retirement after years of service. And as one veteran pup's career winds down, another's is just beginning. Rees reports.
Rolling into retirement. Former search and rescue dog Guang is living his best life after 5 years of service. But despite officially handing in his badge last year, Guang can't quite shake off his instinct to work.
他会突然间耳朵立起来或者怎样，可能就是有人开铁门，或者是煮东西在沸在逼那个水壶那种。
A decorated veteran, Guang worked on some high-profile cases, including a 2020 Black Hawk helicopter crash that killed 8 military personnel. But regulations say service dogs must retire when they reach 8 years old. However, a new generation of patrol pups are close on Guang's tail and have already started training. This 1-year-old mixed pup, Ye, is currently the star pupil in his class and is learning skills that will make him ideal for search and rescue operations.
我们会做它的地形的适应性，然后还有对人的亲和力的提升，然后还有它的鼻子对气味的反应。
Saving lives is no easy task, so training starts early for pups in service, who can take their exams as soon as they're 18 months old. But handlers say most dogs aren't ready until they're at least 2.
真的很难啊，不可能说我一只犬只就是这样子到18个月就马上可以让它通过测试，也是要看犬只的特性，还有它的能力，再加上就是我们领犬员慢慢的去努力增强自己。
Search and rescue dogs need to have a keen sense of smell and high levels of obedience to make the cut. Skills that will help them quickly locate people in a disaster, particularly important in countries like Taiwan that are prone to earthquakes. As these pups continue honing their senses, veteran Guang can continue enjoying his well-earned retirement. James Lin and Rees for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's known for its lush subtropical jungles, but native plant species are being squeezed out by invasive ones planted by people. One national park has brought in volunteers to fight back. Eric Gao has the details.
These princess vines look beautiful, with their aerial roots swaying and glistening in the sunlight. But this plant is not native to Taiwan, and it's spreading rapidly.
因为土被它抢了，阳光被它抢了，什么都没有，所以这些植物就没有办法再生长出来。
A recent report says the princess vine is just one of some 380 invasive species found in Kaohsiung Sosan National Nature Park. That's a huge amount compared to the 500 native species there. And these foreign plants were brought in by people.
像柴山有什么里长休息区，有秘密花园啊，有这2个地方。那这个都其实就是民众拿家里的植物来种的。
These invasive species have spread rapidly over the past few years, so the park has called for volunteers to help halt that spread.
如果我们现在不开始控制它的数量的话，那未来可能会 可能会很严重，可能会到整个林下通都慢慢都是它。
It's not just plants being crowded out by the newcomers. Many native insect species rely on indigenous flora to survive. So if the native plants go, so do the bugs. Conservationists are calling on people to stop planting foreign species, to leave room for native species to thrive. Leon Lien and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Plant doctors are treating crops and improving yields all around Taiwan with positive, measurable results, but they must continue doing so unregulated due to a spat over words. Reese Ayers brings us this story as well.
Swapping stethoscopes for fly traps. This doctor's patients are plants, not people. Li Zonghan is one of a team of specialists called Botanical Doctors. They're working in Taiwan's farmlands to help local farmers keep their crops healthy.
这黑瓜加的，因为伊加吼伊会较细粒，伊拢安尼加一个空嘴安尼尔，一粒安尼一空一空。啊，若钓时啊加伊安怎？伊会变安尼，食甲叶啊拢碰进去。
At this farm in the southern county of Yunlin, in Taiwan's agricultural heartland, Li provides diagnoses and treatments for plants plagued by pests, with a focus on more environmentally friendly treatments.
蛋伫中遐，伊就放伫中安尼。 安尼一组会使冻差不多1个月，你就吊伫遮就好啊。啊，伊的叶仔伊就一直飞伫内底，安尼你就袂像迄张安尼黏着顶管，拢毋是主要的害虫。
Li wants farmers to use pesticides less and in a more targeted way. Over 9,000 tons of pesticides were sprayed across Taiwan in 2022, the excessive use of which can cause long-term damage to the land and contaminate produce with dangerous chemicals. Li says advice from plant doctors can help reduce environmental impact and improve business for farmers.
我觉得我们的立场可以更中立的告诉他说：“阿姨，我真正想要替你省钱，我真的是想要帮你省钱，所以我们才会推不管是安全用药、精准用药。”
Crops that got diagnoses and treatment from Li yielded 2 to 3 times more produce, with pest control and prevention costs reduced by a third, pointing to the effectiveness of botanical physicians. But the profession lacks legislative regulation, something plant doctors have been pushing for since 2016, because some human physicians take issue with the wording.
医师团体对于这个名称的那一开始我们碰到这个问题，我们也很惊讶，因为全世界都没有这个问题。老一辈的老师其实还蛮 care 这个东西，说明明就是植物艺术。
Botanical doctors like Li can continue treating plant patients across Taiwan, but will have to do so unregulated, until the government can decide exactly what to call them. John Su and Reese Ayers for TaiwanPlus.
Members of Taiwan's largest indigenous group are trying to pass on their culture through music and dance. Tiffany Wong reports.
Keeping the Amis culture alive through song and dance. Most of these dancers are over 70 years old, but they still have a lot of energy. They want to pass on their community's traditions to the next generation, showing unity through art.
我们的人员30几个，算是很团结的，在台东来讲，算是一个很团结的一个团体。所以有什么大型的表演，都会邀我们过去。
Music and dance play important roles in Amis culture and are frequently performed at major ceremonies. These seniors say that learning music can be a fun way to preserve their traditions and learn their language.
就喜欢唱歌跳舞，一方面还可以学到一些我没有唱过的歌，也是部落的歌啊，也有老一辈子的歌啊。
These elders hope their performances can inspire the next generation to embrace their Amis heritage. Luffy Lee and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching. Here's what happened. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or visit our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, snuggle up with these images of giant panda cubs playing in northwest China. I'm Philip Brossard. Take care, and we'll see you next week.